Guys, it's your boy AD back with another video. Now in today's video we're gonna be doing with Naruto and Hanabi were poetry couple part 9, I believe. So yeah. Anyways, before funding you, let me know if you guys liked and enjoyed. Get this video 50 likes for next one, and yeah, let me know what you think about this what if in the comment section down below. And also go over to the description where I'll be leaving a link to the new YouTube channel that me and some of my friends created, where we were posting stuff about like anime and stuff like that. So yeah, go over there and check that out if you think you're gonna enjoy that kind of content. But yeah, anyways, we posted the first video like yesterday, so yeah, go over and check that out if you haven't yet. But yeah, for further ado, let's just get the video started.
I got one question. What is your gay lesson? Kira.
As we saw, started off with old Shimao, as he was basically walking, like talking to Kabuto, as he would basically tell him to start the invasion when I give you the signal. Don't start before I will kill you, so you better not try your luck or anything funny. As Kabuto would basically nod, pushing up his glasses, as then we skip back to the present, as Naruto will basically go down into the arena using a giant gust of wind, as Gaara would basically use the sand thingy, like the little sand shuntrin that he did in canon. Yeah, he uses that and teleport down, as basically going down into the arena. Yeah, as Sasuke would basically walk down there, since he was not able to use any teleportation due to much to his embarrassment, but he couldn't really do much about it. So yeah, anyways, you basically proceed to walk down and into the arena, as the proctor will basically walk into the middle and say, "Are you guys ready?" As then he'll basically start, as he would jump away as fast as he could, as he would basically be certain that this was basically no ordinary match, as the proctor barely managed to leave the ground. The ground started to shake and crack open, as then sand erupted all over from like basically the ground, as it rushed at Naruto and Sasuke, as then they basically both jump up, dodging the sand, but a small amount of sand basically scratched Sasuke's leg, as he basically got him stiff in anger and pain, as the sand would basically be trying to hit them and shit, but they'll basically let him back down on the ground, as Sasuke would proceed to launch 10 kunais at Gaara, but as expected, Gaara's sand defense would basically rose up, protecting. I got rudely interrupted like always, but yeah, anyways, basically the kunai would simply fall to the ground, and Gaara basically stood there like nothing ever happened basically, as then Naruto would smirk and jump up, as he then did a couple of hand signs, as then he would say fire star, fire tornado, as basically making a tornado of fire, as it basically made a Gaara made a wall of sand, as basically the sand got turned into glass, making Gaara not be able to control it anymore, as then basically Gaara isn't able to control the sand on him anymore because it's glass now, as Naruto would smirk, as then he would land basically he would be going down with a downward kick, as Gaara basically was in his sand cocoon at first, but then it became glass, so as Naruto basically after Naruto's jutsu, but then the glass started cracking, as then it cracked open and it burst open basically, as the glass went like the pieces of glasses basically went all over Gao's body, piercing him and making him bleed a lot. As then he would basically drop to the ground, holding onto his head, as he would basically scream in pain, as he would say, "Blood, it's my blood," as a wave of sand basically would come all over the place, as basically like all over the arena, to be exact, actually hitting basically Gawa's body, as then the sand will slowly become a giant basically demon Shikaku, as then it would basically swing its giant tail around, as it would basically hit the Kage seating area, destroying it, as immediately some feathers basically start to fall, as the civilians basically also fall from the, as the feathers were falling, the civilians fall on the ground and all that stuff. Basically the Genjutsu started and the evasion started, right? Long story short. As then basically, yeah, the invasion starts, as the sand helped the sound, and the Shikaku basically would start to laugh, saying, "I'm finally free," like a crazy voice. As then he would basically look down at Naruto, as he would basically say, "You will be my first victim," as he would basically, as you see Tsunade and Jiraiya and Kushina fighting the first, second Hokage and Orochimaru, as they were basically doing pretty well. Yeah, they had beat the second, but he was regenerating due to animation jutsu and was getting back to his feet. Even though Jiraiya basically and Kushina hates the village and Tsunade, but they found out that Orochimaru basically was planning on using the sand, the Chuiki, and basically making him release in the One Tails, and also had planned, like, if the plan messed up, like let's say like the plan somehow failed, basically he planned to use Naruto, like basically mess with Naruto's seal and release the Nine Tails. Anyways, basically, yeah, he just wanted to use people to destroy the village, right? Long story short. Anyways, they basically put the differences aside, and basically, not that they trusted each other, but they had to basically fight together, as they basically started to fight against Orochimaru. As we skip back to Naruto and Hanabi, as they basically were now standing into the middle of the arena, as they basically look at Shikaku, who was basically doing a wind style wind bullet, shooting it at Naruto, but then he would basically simply dodge, as then Hanabi would activate her Tensei gun, and she would basically make 4 choosing orbs, as she launched them at Shikaku's legs and arms, destroying them, as she would basically obliterate the whole sand, basically with the choosing orbs. As Naruto basically would disappear, as Gao would get basically taught no jutsu and whatever, as he disappeared and appear on the roof of the arena thingy where the Kages were fighting, basically, as he appeared next to Kushina and the others, as then he would basically say, I had planned to do this after the Chunin exam was finished, but I suppose this is good enough, I guess. As basically Naruto says fire style Magic Destroyer Flame, shooting an ocean of fire, as Kushina would basically, not Kushina, Hashirama would basically say wood style wood dome, and Tobiyama would say water style water vortex jutsu, as then the fire would basically still burn Tobiyama and some of the wood as well, but not that much of Hashirama's would get burned. As then Naruto told Jiraiya to basically go take care of the snake summoning, the giant 3-headed snake summoning, as he would go. As then Naruto would basically say, anyways, Orochimaru, I see that you basically are after Sasuke. Is it because of his eyes? As Orochimaru would say yes. As Naruto would basically say, why don't you just get Itachi's eyes since his are on higher level. Anyways, oh wait, basically you can't. As Orochimaru will basically grit his teeth, knowing that it's true, as Naruto will basically smirk, as he would say. Also, as he was freaking hell. As Naruto basically smirk, as he would start to laugh, as Orochimaru would say, "What's so funny?" As Naruto would say, "Oh well, since you and Danzo are so fond of powerful eyes, how come you guys haven't come after me and after Hanabi's eyes or mine, for that matter?" As Orochimaru would basically look at him confused but curiously, as he would basically say, "What do you mean? My eyes?" Like basically, he's like, "What do you mean by your eyes?" As basically now would say, "Well, I only show it to those who are worthy or I trust, and you're neither of those." As Orochimaru will basically grit his teeth in anger, as then he would basically make a single hand gesture, as the first Hokage would do some hand sign and say, "Wood spike," as a spike of wood basically come out of the ground, trying to basically pierce Naruto, as he basically jump out the way. As Orochimaru will basically then open his mouth, and a wave of snake will basically come out of it, going after Naruto, as Naruto will basically say fireball jutsu, burning them like all the snakes. But then Orochimaru will basically suddenly burst from the ground with his mouth open and a blade sticking out of his tongue. But basically, yeah, he will basically come out with the blade sticking out of his tongue, but he will basically going closer now to his face, like his head, as you basically the blade was right in the middle of Naruto's eyes, basically. So like kind of like right here, I guess, just like right here. It's basically yeah, it was like right in the middle of his eyes, over his nose, as Naruto would basically close his eyes and then open them again, as he would raise his hand saying Shinra Tensei, blowing Orochimaru away, as he would basically hit the barrier that the sound form made, as he would basically get melted a little bit, but then he would fall to the ground, as he would puke himself out of his mouth, whatever, as then his eyes would widen, as he would basically say, "I need those eyes," as he would launch his hand towards Naruto, saying striking Shadow Snake, but Naruto's basically hand would open, revealing a cannon, as he would basically point it at the snake and Orochimaru, shooting it, as the beam would basically destroy half of Orochimaru's body, almost killing him, but he would basically puke himself out again, as Naruto would basically raise his hand saying Universal Pull, or Bachoteni, whatever you want to call it, as now Orochimaru would basically get pulled towards Naruto, freaking hell, as Naruto would basically a chakra word would appear out of Naruto's hand, as he would stab it in Orochimaru's mouth so he doesn't puke himself out, as then Naruto would basically do the same thing for his arms and leg, pinning him to the ground, as Naruto would say, "Well now, Orochimaru, you know you will basically never get mine or Hanabi's eyes, so don't even try. Actually, never mind. You'll have a chance since you died today. Actually, after I'm done with you." With Naruto will basically smirk, as Orochimaru will basically be grinding his teeth, as then Naruto will basically unseal the big box that Kushina got from the mansion, like the Uzumaki estate, whatever, as he would basically open it to reveal some blood. As Naruto would basically take it out, and as he would look at Orochimaru and say, "Do you know who this blood is basically from?" As Orochimaru would say, "No, he doesn't." As Naruto would smirk even more, as then he would open the vial, as basically he put the blood on the ground, as then his eyes would basically glow a little bit, as the king of hell would appear behind him, freaking out everyone. But we would see Kushina basically smirk, basically giggling to herself, like she's basically like swimming around and shit on the ground impatiently, as then a blue, like more like a green light, would appear from the king of hell's mouth, basically the little soul thing, as yeah, it would appear from his mouth, as it would basically come out of it, and then the king of hell would go back on the ground or whatever, wherever it came from, as the little ball thingy would basically it's like a soul, whatever, but yeah, it will basically flow to the blood and go into it, as then the blood will suddenly start to move, as then we see 5 minutes later, as we see a body on the ground. It was Miyato Namikaze without the reanimation marks, due to him being actually brought back, as then he would basically say, he would basically open his eyes, as he would basically go on and say, where am I? As Naruto would say, basically time to explain. But guys, this was from good enough. Hope you guys liked it and enjoyed. Yeah, get this video 50 like for next part, and yeah, wonder what's gonna happen with basically the interaction with Minato and Kushina and all of them. Then if you want to see that, you're gonna get this video 50 like I said. And yeah, go over to the Weebcast, go over and check that out. And yeah, also let me know what you thought of this video, and hopefully you yeah, I'm gonna be out for now.